Hello and welcome everyone, this is Type V3 and let's get straight to the point. What we have before us is the Super Robot Chogokin drill set of Manliness, an add-on accessory set for the Gurren Lagann figure of the same line, or for any other SRC who also carries the crossover joint feature. Opening up the box, you are greeted with a massive amount of drills. Breaking down the contents, you get a static and spinning version of the Giga Drills, an arm replacement, a replaceable head crest, and 28 smaller drills, 2 of which are slightly different from the rest. Starting with the Giga Drills, you have 2 options when it comes to having Gurren Lagann wield them. The first of which involves removing his fist and then popping on the static drill. Now I found that the increased weight is a little too much for the joints of the arm to handle, but thankfully there is a peg hole in the drill to support the use of a Tamashii stage. The other option is to simply remove the forearm altogether and replace it with the included drill wielding accessory. This gets rid of all the weight issues, but at the same time you do lose the articulation from the elbow joint. Getting Gurren Lagann to wield the spinning Giga Drill is also an easy affair. You basically just slide it over the static drill and lock it in place. Now I will admit that no matter which method of attachment you're using for the arm, all this plastic is rather heavy and you will need to use a Tamashii stage. Also, the much more acute viewers probably have already deduced that since this spinning Giga Drill is essentially a slip-on effect part, you can't have GL wield both accessories at the same time. Unless of course you use clever camera angles and multiple display stands. The rest of this set deals with getting Gurren Lagann into his full drillized mode. It's fairly straightforward as all you have to do is replace the head crest and plug all the drills in every peg hole on the figure. Of course, there are certain things to take note of before you start. Firstly, you'll need to use the original 4 wrist drills that came with GL. Next, you'll notice that 2 of the drills are slightly thinner and are made of a harder plastic. These plug into Gurren Lagann's shoulders. As for the 26 other more rubbery drills, well, you just apply them where you can. As a side note, if you're using the Gurren Wing backpack, you will have 4 drills left over. When you're done, you've got Gurren Lagann in his full drillized mode. I think it looks absolutely great. The connections are solid and the articulation isn't hindered in any way. Although, the drills do tend to collide sometimes, and that makes posing him slightly more frustrating, but it's not detrimental to the release. All in all, this is an interesting add-on set, and I have some mixed thoughts on it. Paint finish and build quality are certainly top-notch, but I wish there was a little more substance to its offerings. Moreover, I just hope that the Giga Drills were much larger. Or if not that, then maybe even the inclusion of longer and more narrow drills would have been a nice touch too. Ultimately, I feel as if the entire set should have just been included with the original release and not its own separate thing. Most add-on sets are used to represent upgrades given to a character later on in their fiction, and as such are never really considered to be must-haves for every collector. The drill set of Manliness is quite the opposite of that approach. It's entirely integral to the full enjoyment of the Super Robot Chogokin Gurren Lagann. And when you couple that with the fact that this set retails for about 2,000 yen, you do feel a slight sense of price gouging going on. So what's my advice? Just buy it. Sure, you won't like the fact that it costs about $10 more than it should, and the finickiness and size of the Giga Drills may disappoint you depending on expectations, but if you don't buy it now, you'll surely regret it later. Because if you don't, one day you'll come across another SRC Gurren Lagann, full drillized mode engaged, Giga Drill equipped, and you'll only have a deep feeling of emptiness. And we wouldn't want that now, would we? Anyways, this has been Type V3, and thanks for watching this review. But what if I told you that there's an alternate drill set on the horizon? One that's not fueled by manliness or courage, but rather darkness and anti-spiral technology.